sign that says like,
All right, welcome to Jack Dodson'S Racing Insider News this week. Got a packed show tonight, Jack.
We do. It's going to be a busy show. We got
some education going on for you.
yeah, we got some things going on here we can learn from. Even you. Oh, there's a lot of things you can learn from. Never mind. I shouldn't even.
Let's not go that far. All right, let's thank GAC, Great American Company. Papa John's for always providing pizza every week. Jack never gets tired of pizza, especially from Papa John's. Slinger Speed Company, our official T-shirt company. One day we'll get our hats, Jack. One day.
Well, they're a T-shirt company right now. I ain't seen a hat, so I can't say hat company.
Bondrich Brothers Distillery. One day Jack's going to get us some product, and we'll be able to do some shots here or something. One day.
one day. As long as
Maybe
Eddie doesn't come and take the rest of it.
Well, that's true. That is true.
Well, the night I do go and bring it up here, Eddie will show up that night.
Just magically show up.
MPM Marketing, Tanya McAllister, thank her for helping us out with the driver's suit for our winners. Langley Speedway for allowing us to do the show from here. Really can't thank Terry and Chuck and Bill and those guys for allowing us to do the show from here. Pepsi, Mountain Dew, it's mine and Jack's drink of choice. Mosquito Joe, get 50% off on your Mosquito Joes on this side of the water. On your first month of service, just mention the show or Langley Speedway. Speaking of Eddie, Fast Eddie's Barbecue. Eddie always takes care of us when he makes us some barbecue, and it's usually enough for 1 or 2 more nights of dinner.
Yeah, last time was more than 1 or 2 nights.
Yeah. S&N Communications come on board last year. Appreciate those guys for coming on board. They sponsored a race here the other week. Had Ward was here.
Yeah.
I think they're going to do some other stuff with the Burtons. There's some other stuff in the works that we can't say yet. Airlock with factory canopies. If you want to get a canopy, I think it's $16.99. Custom 10 by 20 canopy for your race car is pretty nice. And then the Airlock, they have the magnet quick disconnects for your air hose to your helmet. Miles of Seamless Gutter. Thanks those guys for I don't even know who would even put up $5 grand for us to give away.
Well, they're the only ones. We can't say a whole lot about that.
You're right.
And you almost trying to screw that up. So
appreciate those guys for putting up the money for our ideas. And then our first down pit road, our little pit walk we've been doing, we've enjoyed doing. Thank Sammy for coming on board for that. The Frontline Performance Race Fuels, Parts, Lubrications, the hottest fuel at Langley Speedway, may or may not pass tech.
Well, so far it's past tech every time. So
I mean, he ain't been DQ'd yet.
No.
I mean, I say yet because we just don't ever know.
Well, so go ahead.
That's it.
That's all of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's do the news real quick. The Cup winner this weekend was Bubba Wallace. Imagine that. Bubba Wallace got to win this weekend. I thought.
Oh my God, Brandon, do you need glasses? She said Jack got his haircut. Looked good. Looks good, Jack.
You know, you all need to leave people alone.
I didn't know the damn screen was that clear.
The Xfinity winner was Connor Zilich. That wasn't
a 21.
No, it wasn't a 21. That's for daggone sure, and it won't be 21 next week either.
No, it will not. It might be the 21, but it ain't gonna be Austin in there.
I got something. I'll say something about that later. Anyway, Connor Zilich got the win. That's 100 wins now for Junior Motorsports. In the Truck Series, Lane Riggs got the win. I mean, he put a pretty good race there. Lane Riggs did in that truck race.
Yeah, he dominated that thing.
In the ARCA race, Brett Cruz got the win, and Butterbean finished third.
And 14th after the DQ.
Yeah.
In the truck race.
Yep. So he's in good shape there. Bowman Gray. Now I don't know. I can only give you the modified winners at Bowman Gray.
How come?
Because there was some shit going on at Bowman Gray this past weekend.
What else is new?
Where did the winner finish in the race?
The winner, the one that was declared the winner,
Yeah.
he finished 5th.
Oh, I thought it was 6.
No, it was 5th. It was the top 4 got
Okay.
disqualified. Top 4 got disqualified. At Bowman Gray, the modified winner was Tim Brown. The second modified was Lee Jeffries. And you can just throw a dice up in the air and figure out who won the rest of them because everybody got disqualified. I mean, they didn't want to pull their oil pans off. They didn't want to give up their tires. They gave up their tires and they were illegal. So, I mean, that's got to be an interesting place when all that's going on.
Yeah.
Plus, the modified race had a problem, but it wasn't involving the winners. Burt Myers and Mike Spinney, and I understand this weekend there may be some repercussions following that deal. I'm hearing
I thought that was
a possibility. It's a
They
possibility.
didn't do it on the front stretch.
It was all done out front.
Okay.
The
I know
modified was in.
Because I thought the deal was if you got in a fight in the pit, you got fined, but if you did it on the front stretch, it was okay. I'm serious.
And if you hook somebody, you lose all your playoff points and everything.
Depends on who you are.
That's what Richard Childress said. In the Cars Tour West, they were at I forget where they were to. Buddy Shepard got the win. That is Sobo. Late model race number 1, Pete Sellers won. Late model race number 2, Jacob Borst. And in the limiteds, Zach Pagoy won both limited late model races. Down at Newport, limited late models, Nick Williams got race number 1, Jacob York got race number 2, and in the modified 4s,
Kevin?
no, it was not Kevin.
No?
It was his daddy, Rocky Yates, got the win. Rocky Yates got the win. Then at Kingsport, Super Street Series, Rusty Clendenin got the first win, and Kyle Barnes got the second win. In the late model, Zeke Shell won race number 1. Brad Housewright won race number 2. And in the modified 4s, who won that?
Kevin Cameron.
Wrong again. Chris Ambergy won the modified.
Is he related to what's the guy that works on a bunch of those things? Is it his son? I can't think of his name.
No, I don't know that. Down at Anderson in the ASA Redbud 400, Cole Butcher got the win. At Wade County, Carson Hayslip won the late models, and our guest tonight, Noah Evans, got the win in the bandos. At Dominions, the modified 2 races in the modifieds, Eric Folks got both wins. The American racer Chase Johnson got both wins.
Yeah, number 10 and 11.
Yeah, something like that. He's doing a heck of a job. And we'll turn it over to Adam for his pit road roundup from Langley Speedway.
Langley Speedway, baby. We had a little bit of everything this weekend. Bandos, Pro 6s, late models.
Exciting bando.
Exciting bando race, yeah. Shout out to Logan Furman. Yeah, that was the absolute craziest thing I think we'd all seen in our entire life. But we're so glad he's okay. And Jace too.
That was
Tough on both.
That was a wild wreck. I mean, I've seen the replays of it. I did not see it at the beginning because I wasn't watching it then, but that was a wild wreck.
Oh yeah. Landon Burbich ended up winning that race in the dominated that race. He was pretty good. The Pro 6, Matt Dale won that race.
I don't know how in the world, all the cars in that race, I guess,
It's sad. To be honest.
I was thinking that. Somebody asked me when we were watching it, why are they even running that race?
Well, there was 4. Somebody blew a motor up in practice. But still, I don't know where all the other cars are. It's sad that that's
blew up earlier in the week.
I mean, it's sad. It is a great class now.
Yeah, and Andrew and his wife are having a baby, so they're done for the year.
Yeah, I knew that.
Which stinks because that's a good car.
Yeah, I understand he's going limited racing next year. I heard. You know, they bought a car and they're doing some work and probably wasn't supposed to be released, but it's too late.
I heard he and Tommy were working on something. That's all I heard.
There is a team locally that just acquired 3 Pro 6s.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you go.
I'm going to ask this question.
We'll double the pool next time.
I'm going to ask this question. Do they know who the drivers are going to be?
As of now, I know of at least 2.
Okay.
Well, we're still waiting on that car that won last year to show up. The 44.
That's the car that got purchased.
There you go.
Yeah. The backup.
And we know who's driving it. And they haven't been here yet. They're still testing.
That's what I know, but I wasn't.
So. Shout out to Frontline Performance, by the way. In the Legends, Charlie Beals got the win. Man, talk about old Tommy Jackson for a second.
I mean, that's like the elephant in the room. Look, I love Tommy. I've known Tommy. I think we all have, right?
Was did his mind just block?
I have no idea.
I don't know if he was in a hurry to get out of here.
I don't know. I think he just
Let's speed this along. You know, come on, get off the way. And
I mean, maybe.
then he turned left, and I'm like, well, maybe he's got a problem.
Well, yeah. I mean, you're like, oh, he's got a problem. I'm like, oh, well, maybe he does.
He's planning on coming to the news, then
pull back out by his face card. Like, yeah,
I don't think it's going to work. Can't do that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, maybe if he just pushed him to the pit road and then got back in line, but even then he was third or fourth. Like you can't. I mean, I don't know.
You have to maintain your position under caution. He
Yeah.
did not do that.
But, I mean, who was it? Ambrose that lost the race like that, or
Yes.
something like that?
And he was doing them cutting the gas off and trying to save gas, and it didn't fire back up, and a couple cars went by him, and he could not go back to his spot. So
I think he still would have won if he didn't come down pit road because he would have restarted maybe 4th or 5th. That car was so good, man. They finished 6th. I mean, they went from 19th to 6th in like 7 laps.
And then what about Cody Carlton spinning his teammate? That's funny. They got together.
Yeah, that was tough.
And Mason.
Mason came back to finish 8th. He restarted out back. He was fast too. Cody ended up 2nd. Cody and Mason are both racing on Friday at Dixieland. So coming out and see them. And congrats to Charlie because that's a big deal for him. He's now qualified for the Vegas Nationals in end of this year sometime.
I believe that Cody is also qualified for the Vegas Nationals because he was the first pro to finish.
Okay. I heard it was just race winner. That's cool. Good deal for him.
Yeah, I think whatever class they're in, I believe.
Yeah, because it would be Charlie Beals is in semi-pro, I believe.
Okay.
But then Cody would be the first pro finisher. So technically, Charlie Beals finished first, but as far as pro finishers, Cody finished first.
Huh. Well, there you go. In the Super Streets, Landon Abbott got the win. That's his 2nd this year. They run
when he shows up, he wins. No doubt about
pretty
it.
much, man.
Yeah, and what's his name that was here last week? He finished 2nd.
Jacob was 2nd.
We got by Sammy there.
On our transponder, it said Caleb and Parker raced. I don't know if Blake was racing this weekend. I never checked that. So either way, they finished in the top 10. So good run for them. Brad Adams won the modified race. That's his 2nd this year, I think. He's a points leader over there. And then in the late models, Danny Edwards got himself a win, first time this year. And somebody named Jacob Derrick won the late model race
before.
Yeah. You know. I joke with you, and I joke with other people about having mafia behind them.
Yeah, what's wrong
This kid here has the whole place mafia behind it.
The whole racetrack?
I mean, out of all the votes for driver of the week, and I think we had over 60 some on both of my sites, had over 60 votes. Only 2 voted for anybody else. And one of them voted for his damn self. Who voted for himself?
Hold out.
Angelo Stella.
Pops, man.
He voted for himself.
Angelo, you're gonna win it one week, man.
If somebody voted for Chase Johnson, which is legit, yeah, that's legit. But then everything else was Jacob Derrick. I mean,
voted for himself. That's
I normally sit down here and I start tallying them up to see.
I don't think there was no need to.
No need to tally. I need to tell you who didn't get a vote. I mean, who only got one vote. Clay looked at me and he said, "We ain't got to do that this week, do we?" So we didn't do it. And but anyway, Derek is the driver of the week, and Jacob even
Jacob voted for Ricky.
yeah, he did, but I didn't count that. I didn't even count that. So I didn't count that. All right, some other news. How about that wreck last night or the other night with Stuart Friesen?
Man, that is crazy.
He is.
I mean, he's lucky to be here.
Now the fire's what got me when how when he yanked it. It was like it yanked it loose when he come back across. And was it you who said it was the car that hit him probably did the most damage?
Yeah, because when he hit the rail, I mean, the car went airborne and it came back down on the rail. But I mean, in all honesty, that really wasn't that hard of a hit. It was just the airborne portion. What hurt is you see a car come to a rest, it stopped on the track.
Yeah. I mean,
And then out of nowhere, that one car just comes flying through him at full speed and hits him.
Yeah, that's scary.
If I had to guess what broke bones, that's probably what did it.
Yeah, and then I wonder, because that's his team in the Truck Series.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder what's going to happen with that deal.
Austin Hill, we already mentioned it. Got a 1-race suspension, lost all his playoff points.
Yeah, it's a stiff penalty.
So he.
But I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, sometimes I think NASCAR needs to do something, but on the other hand, I'm kind of like Mark Martin. I talked to him about it. And he's like, I'm old school. I think the drivers need to duke it out. He said, but Austin's kind of a big guy. He'd probably knock me out.
Well,
and I forget who else was like, well, he can still be knocked out.
Well, that blue collar team that comes from RCR, there, that'd be something interesting. The Cars Tour has their throwback race in Hickory this weekend for the late model stock cars and the pro late models. I talked to Blaine Harrison.
Mm-hmm.
You remember Blaine and Eddie Harrison that from out there in the West? They have the coolest car out of all the cars I've seen, and I've seen just about all of them, pictures of all of them. Mm-hmm. That Darrell Waltrip 17 car, I love that thing.
Yeah, he's a Darrell Waltrip fan.
Damn right I'm a Darrell Waltrip fan, always will be.
Doug Barnes just did a release. He's doing a Dale Earnhardt throwback. It's all red one with the Tasmanian Devil.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's a pretty cool one too.
I got my vote in for
Bo Daddy.
The old 39.
Yeah, that's the one he likes. Landing on. Yeah. Also, Venturini has got another new driver, Jade Adavisian. That's a big deal to get her first starts in the ARCA series. And I want to think about Aiden Ziedrich.
Yes.
If they had to fire at their house, burn everything up, and then now he has to go have 4 wisdom teeth pulled out of his mouth. And I know that's not good.
Been there.
So let's have a little thought about Aiden Ziedrich, because I know he's hurting somewhere about now.
Sure.
So
what about the rumors that Spire might be pulling out of the Truck Series and going Xfinity racing?
ain't no rumor.
That's confirmed.
That's good. That ain't no rumor. That's going to happen.
So are they going?
But you're going to be surprised at what's going to happen. There's another move coming.
Oh,
what are you hearing?
keeping us on our toes over here.
I
Can't say live.
Yeah, I can't release this because I was told do not bring it up, and I did. You don't listen. But I ain't told nothing yet. But there is a move coming.
Well, I mean,
It's
I
gonna
know there's a
surprise.
few, but I'm curious of what's going to happen. Is there going?
This ain't a driver move. This is another team thing. So,
And then
damn, I'm gonna keep on. We'll tell it.
is part of that a Dodge deal?
No, it's not part of a Dodge deal.
Oh,
It's not part of a Dodge deal.
well, that was some of the other sort of.
And that's our news for tonight. And we ain't going no further with that.
Before Jack keeps going.
I don't want to put it out there too much about what's going on. All right, let's get our first guest in here and let him.
Oh boy.
That's you.
Right, is it?
Yeah,
I
that's
thought it was this guy.
No, he voted for you.
Man.
You got outvoted. You didn't vote.
So you're in here.
You voted for yourself, I think.
No, he ain't Angelo Stelling.
I voted for myself.
Angelo Stelling.
I got Ballin
I'm
voted.
told.
Ballin voted.
Voluntold. You were voluntold.
All right.
Oh man.
He's dodging the question. What am I dodging the question? Oh, yeah, I am dodging the question. I thought he was insinuating something. Yeah. Anyway.
Talk.
All right, we got Danton White here. So Danton, give us a little background on what you got going on around here. I mean, I hear you.
Or give a little background, like where you got started. I know you've been around for a while.
So,
Family history.
you want me to go like back to the beginning, like you know,
like,
conception, or you know, what are we?
Who are you born, John? No, we don't need to go that far back.
No, I've as y'all know, last name Wyatt's fairly common around here.
I've heard it. You got some people around here?
Yeah.
There's more Wyatt. Sounds like there's more Wyatts than there are people.
Yeah, well, they definitely know how to get everywhere. But I've been coming to Langley since I was a kid. My mom was just telling me about it the other night. She literally brought me here 3 weeks after I was born in a baby carrier with big old earmuffs on my ears. So, you know, since then I've been coming to the track basically every weekend unless I'm somewhere else. And last year, probably about, had to have been about March or April, I went to the store and got a camera. I was doing video game streaming and tried that out on TikTok, and it did pretty well. It was cool. It was fun. And then I figured out with the camera, I was like, you know, I've kind of got this expensive camera just chilling on my desk like 4 out of the 7 days of the week. What's the point? And I was like, you know, it takes pictures too, you know. It's not just a webcam. And I came out here and I started shooting pictures with it with the little tiny pancake lens that it came with, and got some cool stuff and got interested in it. I started kind of doing it as a hobby all year last year. Never did it for, you know, any type of, you know, monetary gain or any sort. But then this year I came out and I was like, you know, I really enjoyed doing it, but how do I turn it into something that I can do full time and invest in personally to where I can make it a business? So first race came out here, just kind of did a reintroduction on all my social media pages and had a new lens, had some new equipment, shot some videography stuff, which was kind of a first. I've done like some video collages of pictures and stuff like that before, but that was it. And started shooting video, and then I decided to make separate pages for everything. And this is right around the time where I got in contact with Rick Godovic, and I had mentioned to him that I wanted to start doing paid photography, whether it was here or Cars Tour, or Dominion, or wherever I end up going. And Rick said, okay, well, let's do it. And that kind of shocked at first, just because I was like, you know what do you mean, let's do it? He was like, let's do it. He was like, what do you want to do? I was like, I want to shoot photography and videography. He was like, okay, what would you charge for a season? Gave him my number, and we ended up getting a deal together for me and him to shoot for the entire season for the modified. And I've done some stuff here and there for obviously Matt and also the late model when he raced it. But from there, I just kind of started shooting for everybody I could. Did some Bando work, did some Legends, branched off to Cars Tour, and that's where things really took off with Buddy Isles. And you know, media started getting a lot more attention just because obviously the Cars Tour has a lot of traction on most social media platforms. But and then after that, it was just every week I was coming here, it was, okay, I've got 1 or 2 clients this weekend. Let me plan. And I start planning, getting ready for everything. And out of nowhere, 2 days before race day, or last day before race day, because as you know, I'm sure, racers tend to be a little bit procrastinated when it comes to.
I was never procrastinating.
Yeah, you were never procrastinating?
No, I was ready to go on Saturday. We raced on Saturday. I was ready to go Friday. All my stuff was packed up and ready to go.
I would hope so.
So I've never procrastinated. I was now Scott,
ask your wife. I'm sure
you can ask her about that. She'll agree with you about me in racing. I'm way early on racing stuff.
But no, it all just kind of took off out of nowhere, and before I knew it, I came back from my first and second Cars Tour races. Obviously, the first one being here, and the second one in Dominion, and went from having 1 or 2 clients a week to juggling 4 or 5 clients a week, and just
passed at the Hampton Heat, and I had 6, and that was when I kind of figured out for myself. I was like, I think 5 might be my limit. It's just for a single person for a single day shooting 5 people, it gets hectic. Like you're trying to keep track of everything in your head. It got to the point where I wrote down on a piece of duct tape, stuck it to the backside of my camera, my drivers and their car numbers. I was just like, all right, I got to make sure I get all of these whenever they come around the track. And when it comes to the race time, man, when you've got four of your 6 drivers all running inside the top 10, you're not getting every driver every lap or every other lap even. It's kind of driver, wait, because the camera's got to ramp up too. You go to take a shot, and you can take another shot. It's probably not going to be in focus because you had to jump from one car to another, and that car was 2 cars behind the car you just shot. So that's when I figured out. I was like, okay, I think 6 might be a little much, and I still managed to get all the media out that I needed to, and met all my quotas for all my drivers. So, but it was to say it was stressful would be an understatement. Just keeping up with everybody throughout the day was just a wild task to take on. But I managed, and I think from now on, I think that's kind of going to be where I sit, unless I've got a multi-day event. I can do that. Maybe I can do 6, 7 people, but one day, definitely not.
So then, what do you? To you, can you tell people like how important social media is, and what is it you like? I think we kind of talked about you're tagging their sponsor, you're tagging them, and those type of things, and how important those things are.
So what you have to remember first and foremost in racing, yeah, we all do it for the love of the sport. We all come out here because we love to watch racing. But what is the primary thing that you see on any given race car at any racetrack, anywhere you go, anywhere in the U.S.? What's on the car besides the number? Sponsors. A sponsor, yeah, of course, them getting their name shouted out on Flow Racing or getting it talked about in Victory Lane is great, and it's exposure. But what about the drivers who don't finish in Victory Lane? Obviously you can't have 5 people finish first every weekend,
right?
So if you're not finishing in Victory Lane every weekend, and even if you are, it doesn't change the fact that social media as a whole has far more reach than anything that any streaming service or news outlet or newspaper that does coverage of a race can ever give you. So best example of this, I was talking to my mom about it last night, actually, just talking about coming on the show and topics and stuff like that, is when I started doing TikTok. And this was, I did TikTok with the gaming thing, and I figured out how to be successful with that. I figured out the algorithm and how it works. And I made my TikTok for the Full Throttle Media page, and the first week I went from 0 followers to 160, and I was like, all right, that's cool. And second week it went from 160 to 350, and then the third week it was almost 700, and now I'm, as of just before I came in here, I think I'm right at like 950, 960. But the biggest thing is that people don't realize, you can't look at a page and see followers and directly relate that to their reach. Because if you go to my statistics on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook, Facebook, biggest example, I've got 340 something, 360 something followers. But in the last month, my Facebook's clocked 61,000 individual interactions from different profiles. My Instagram, as of this morning, it clocked 62,000 interactions across my posts just on Instagram, and that's only my photo posts. My reels are entirely separate metric. And then TikTok, I've got 900 followers, and I think I checked my metrics last night. I think I've got somewhere over 100-something thousand views and 16,000 likes as of today. So you can't take a person's following. This goes for racers too. Just because a racer only has 300 people following them doesn't mean they don't have the reach of 15, 20,000. And that's the point of photography and media, is when you have somebody like myself who understands how the algorithms work, who understands how Facebook and Instagram and TikTok measure media and push it. You can take that reach of a team that would typically post a post to their Facebook and get 20 or 30 likes and turn it into a post that goes from 20 to 30 likes to 300, like the one I posted for Cole the other day. That's the difference between a standalone page that just posts to post and a social media / media photographer or videographer.
Mhm.
And that's 90% of the craft is figuring out how to distribute. And that's where I feel like I definitely tend to be, I don't know, more well versed than the average person. That's just because, I mean, I grew up in this. I mean, I've been on social media since I was 8, 9 years old. Jack doesn't?
No, Jack. No,
I'm tempted. He didn't know what to say.
I'm sitting here trying to figure out everything he's saying, and you come across with something else. But yeah, I don't know about these algorithms. I don't know about it.
I mean, you're thinking if you ever need to talk to somebody, I know a guy.
You do know that? Yeah. Okay, well, I think I done found that out.
Watch what you wish for.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
But I mean, look, like you said, there's only one winner every weekend, right?
Yep.
And then you're doing the stuff that you're doing. Your stuff is standing out from everybody else. That's got to be attractive for a sponsor, right?
Mhm.
Winning races, those days of winning races and sell on Sunday are gone, or sell on Monday are gone. You have to be good at social media. You have to have I say you got to have a huge following, but you have to have the clicks, right?
Yep.
That's what really gets the message out there. And the sharper you can make those pictures and things look, the better. People are like, wow. But I mean, this weekend, those couple of ones, especially the one with Jacob and Mark there with the water all over, that's still like, you're not gonna get that good of a quality with this with this camera on here.
You can still get, I mean, you can get close with a lot of phones nowadays. The only thing that phones fall out on is adjustability, because obviously you can adjust things like aperture and stuff like that. You can simulate it digitally, but it's not the same.
Yeah, here we go.
Tech speak wise, yeah, I get it. But I mean, the biggest thing for me is I looked up to a lot of photographers in the last year and a half, 2 years, and I realized one thing across most of them was that they would post a post and you'd see it hit 20, 30 likes, and they would just kind of stay there. It doesn't really go anywhere. And then I started thinking, I was like, you know, I see NASCAR teams and Craftsman truck teams and car store teams. Their biggest focus is on every post they post. If you click on the picture on Instagram, that entire picture just lights up with tags.
Right.
And it's sponsors, it's key, you know, financiers, stuff like that.
Yep.
And the biggest thing that a lot of people are missing out on in media nowadays is sponsor clarity, is sponsor attention, and just brand engagement. That's the whole purpose of photography and media. So artistic shots and stuff like that, and really large blur shots, and you know, all these really cool, crazy shots you see in Formula One, they're cool. And obviously it's mind blowing to me to think, like, how did you manage to get just the front of his helmet in focus and the rest of it just looks like a jumbled blur of color? It doesn't make sense, like, mentally. But for me, it was just like, you know, all that stuff's cool, but what does a sponsor get out of it? And the sponsors are who share your posts. That's who accepts your invites to be a collaborator. That's who pushes your media when you share a picture and their name is plainly printed on the side of the car, crystal clear. At the end of the day, a driver can share it too, sure, and that's cool. But when you get sponsors' attention, then they start talking to drivers. They start talking to the people that they sponsor. Hey, we really like those pictures. And then guess what? When they go to book somebody for photography next time, the first person that's going to come to thought is the person who their sponsors are complimenting. So if you can get sponsors talking about you with one of their drivers and one of their teams, whether it's Car Store or Late Model or Legend or whoever else, or even car owners talking about all these different things, that's what's going to get you repeat business. That's what gets you noticed.
So what would you recommend, or what would be your advice to some kid that is racing that maybe don't have the funds to hire you or somebody else? What things would you advise him to do?
So the first thing that I would say, especially with kids, and this is where, I mean, I think 90% of the people that I've shot this year are under the age of 21. But that's just because obviously kids are who has a future in racing right That's the focus for everybody. That's NASCAR, ARCA, Craftsman, Car Store, you name it. If they're going anywhere, it's going to be people that are in that younger age group.
Mhm.
You know, people that are in an older age group, you can of course get there, but you typically got to bring your own funding. Kids are going to get funding regardless. If they're decent in a car and they know how to talk, they know how to present themselves, that kid's going to go somewhere if he's got skill. And for a kid who doesn't have a lot of money, like say a BANDO driver, you can talk to most photographers and say, hey, you know, this is what I can do. This is what I want to do. But this is what I have. And when it comes to a kid, you got to think, most of the time I'm shooting late models or modifieds.
Mhm.
Obviously, those races are 50, 75. Cars Tour races 125, 150 laps. If you want me as a photographer to shoot you in a Bandolero for 15 laps, I don't really have a problem charging you a little less. Like I think earlier this year I shot for 3 or 4 BANDO drivers and shot for them at $70 a piece. And that was video and photography because it's going to take an hour out of my day. I mean, the rest of the day I've still got dedicated to whatever else I need to be dedicated to. In my opinion, if a photographer doesn't have that kind of pliability and isn't able to make adjustments for considerations like the fact that, say, a race is only 10 or 15 laps, you're not going to expand yourself. I'm willing to shoot anybody who wants me to shoot them. It doesn't have to be a late model or a modified or a Cars Tour car or NASCAR.
Well, that's one of the things we got here in the question that came up. Do you do any social media shooting for a business other that's not in racing?
Not currently. I have discussed it. Don't really know how to go about it just yet. I figure it'd be about the same. I mean, brand focus is kind of universal regardless of what you're doing, whether it be racing or running a business or running a bakery or a restaurant.
It's a little different. I mean, I've had some experience in doing some of that stuff. I think this is just my opinion. I think until you get to the next level, I think it would help you.
Yeah.
When you learn a little bit of something different,
Oh, yeah.
and you never know what can take off.
For sure.
Because I can tell you, I had some guys that just like you kind of started out. I did some videos and they were $300. Now those guys are charging 10, 20 grand to do those same things, you know.
Yeah,
so you just never know where
containers
it
are
end up. Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, Dan, we appreciate you coming out here and being with us tonight. We got to move on to other folks
Do
here.
you want to give a price of what you charge to do this so people will know?
Right now, locally, as far as Langley goes, shooting here, I'm 10 minutes away. There's no travel expense associated, no time. I'm going to come here every weekend that I'm not shooting somewhere else. So typically it's $100 for photography, $100 for videography, or if you want to shoot both and do the full package, it's $180. Let's cut you a little bit of a break on it. Now, if you want me to travel somewhere, like say Thanksgiving Classic, or say like a Cars Tour race where you want to go out and run a race with Cars Tour, as far as that goes, that's $150 and $150, or $250. Now, of course, there are travel expenses related to that, so that varies. That's per discussion, per racetrack. Something's 7 hours away. Obviously, there's other costs incurred in that.
Right.
But Dominion, Southern National, stuff like that. I mean, that's all locally enough that it doesn't really bother me all that much.
I mean, you follow me and Jack around. We don't run that fast, so. You don't need a speed lens for that.
I don't need all that. But anyway, we appreciate it, Dan. Thanks a lot, and we'll get you back on and we'll talk some more.
Sure.
But I appreciate the information you gave, and
I think it's very
I
informative.
may have to call you.
for everybody. I think it's well worth the money for the racer side for somebody to do. I mean, hands down to me. Honestly, I think it's too cheap, but I'm just being honest. I think it's a big value for your buck, to be honest, for any racer.
Yeah, I've got all that locally, just because here it's important to me that everybody has access to it.
Mm-hmm.
And when I travel outside of here,
Did you give Jack your phone number? Don't block it.
But it's important to me that everybody has access to media. There's some photographers or other media outlets across here in North Carolina and other places that effectively price out the average everyday racer who works 9 to 5 during the week and races on the weekend.
For sure.
And I don't want to do that. I prefer to be able to shoot anybody who wants the media. So I try to price this that I'm being paid for my time, but at the same time, it's affordable enough for a local racer to be able to come out here and get pictures taken too.
Yeah.
All right.
Go unnoticed, man.
All right, Dan, we appreciate it. And while we're switching up, y'all, we're going to do one other person here. Let's go ahead and get Noah on here. And ain't no need for him to be sitting around all this time waiting. Yeah, you're over here.
Let's play a thing, Jack.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think.
Well, we can do these little.
Hello, I'm Eric Enyart, and you're watching Jack Dodson's Racing Insider News with Scott Allen and Adam Welbrock.
All right, there's Noah Evans. How you doing, Noah?
Doing all right. Hope you guys are as well.
Well, we are trying our best to do well. So tell us a little bit about Noah Evans and his racing.
Absolutely. So I started racing in a place called Rush Hour Karting. I just kind of wanted to do it on a whim. I tried all these other sports, and nothing really worked out for me. And so I started getting my feet wet in the karts. I finished 4th in the championship there. I got the opportunity to do Endurance Karting USA up at Virginia International Raceway, which we did pretty good in our time there. And then we purchased a mini stock at the end of 2022, 2022, and we ran one race there. We were hitting the chip. Setup wasn't right at all, and it was just just a run. So my first oval race was at 15. We moved to the mini stocks full time the next year, at least attempted to. Our motor blew up in 2 of the 3 races that we try to compete in. So we took a break off, and then my sponsors surprised me with the Bandolero at the end of the 2023 season, and it's been a heck of a ride ever since that. We clinched the Bull Bash Championship at Wake County Speedway on a tiebreaker early on this year. We were the only class to have that tie, and so far we're doing pretty good this season at Wake County Speedway.
But now I got a question. Now this is a serious question. I know you're good friends with Aiden Ziedrich. Now, the two of y'all, who's the better driver, you or Aiden?
It's close, man.
Don't skip on me now. Go on to that.
I think Aiden has the better record because he can say that he's raced other racetracks, and I can't really say that. He has a little bit more experience than I do. It was a pleasure to race Aiden for the time that he was there. I wish he hadn't aged out. Could have had another year together, but I would say Aiden because he has a better track knowledge than I do. He figured out his lines pretty quickly.
Well, that's pretty cool that you and Aiden are good friends. Now, what are you planning for your career in racing?
Yeah, so our plan is originally, as of right now, we're still looking at a couple options on racing Wake County next year. Weighing a couple classes, mini stocks, chargers, trying to find the best fit for not only myself as a driver, but for my team as well, budget-wise and everything. And other tracks availability as well, like Carteret, Caraway, Southern National, all these different racetracks that we have here. One of the other plans we have is not a backup plan, but something on the side is I've have been the broadcaster a couple of times at Wake County Speedway up in the booth with Wesley Outland. I do pit reporting after my races, so I'll hop out of the car and I had to skip a race obviously because of tech and everything, and drive that car back up there, get dressed in some quote unquote nice clothes, and then go down there and interview the next couple winners that we have. So far right now, mini stock is looking like our way to go. I'd really love to get back out there with those guys, but we're still weighing some options for the 2026 season.
So you really don't care about who you hang out with. You're hanging out with Wesley Outland and Aiden Ziedrich. So you really, you'll just hang out with anybody.
I would say so. I love falling in with all these different groups here at racetracks and stuff. And I've grown up going to tracks and whatnot. I remember when the walls at Wake County were white, almost, I'd say 10 or 12 years ago. It's always been my home. I've always had a bit of an emotional attachment to racetracks, seeing as my dad raced there and my grandpa raced there. And it really isn't about who I hang out with. It's about I think just the people there and the personalities that are out there. I mean, there's so many interesting people that don't have the opportunity to tell their story to anybody else. And you see guys in the mini stocks like John Savage. John Savage has been racing out there since the 90s, and there's a lot of, untold stories of, great races and whatnot. And really falling in with, certain crowds and whatnot is really one of my favorite things about going to local short tracks and everything. Is just finding those people who either don't have the chance to tell their story or haven't told their story yet.
So what is your plans for the rest of this year? I mean, what are you going to just do that, or you got any plans to go somewhere else and race, or what?
So this upcoming week, we are planning on running our first double, running at Wake County Speedway, and then running the revival for I think it's Coastal Plains Speedway now is what they call it down there in Jacksonville. So we're hoping to run there. Obviously, we're going to finish out the season in the Bandolero. I age out on October 28th. I'll turn 19. And New River holds a race October 18th, I believe. So that'll be our last race that we're eligible for. But we're going to run the rest of the season out. Hopefully, we're able to qualify for nationals in September. Maybe try to run down there at Charlotte. But we're still looking to look for some more track opportunities. Any that open up, we're willing to hike that Bando down there and get our feet wet.
All right. Before we let you go, who are your sponsors and who all helps you?
Absolutely. So first, I want to thank Tony and Rebecca Toro for sponsoring me. They've been by my side since the beginning in go-karts, and they really have supported me. They run 1128 Investments LLC. I'd also like to thank Noble Theme Publishing, CRH Homes, Southern Wildlife Management as well, Clint Johnson Books, Khaki Tom, Race Crew Media for covering our races. We just have so many people on this car that I'm just super thankful for. It's been a really long journey. Brian Olden for setting up our cars. He just puts together rocket ships, and especially my dad for being my spotter. I mean, I wouldn't have anyone else up there with me. That's who I can name now, and they've been by my side since the start. And we're always looking for more sponsorships. If you ever want to put your name on a Bandolero or a mini stock in the upcoming season, contact me on Facebook Messenger. I'm open to anywhere you want to put your sticker on the car. I'm on Instagram as well, Racer Evans 22, and you can follow 1128 Motorsports, which is our race team. You can follow them on Facebook and TikTok as well.
All right, man. Well, we appreciate you giving us some time tonight, and hopefully I'm going to try to get down to Wake County if possible soon, and I'd love to come down and see how everything goes and hang out with Wesley Outland for a little while. But hopefully we'll see you down there.
Absolutely. We'd love you to have down there. And thank you guys for having me on. I really appreciate it.
All right. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Sir, thank you. See ya.
You got to be in an argument with her. Let's get Billy on here.
Okay. I was supposed to say, Jack, we better get this show going pretty good before these younger kids like Atlee Weiss and this kid here. See how much better they are. we're gonna be like helping them.
Yeah, but you know what? They can't be as funny as we are.
Just because they're trying to be too professional.
That's right. Hey, this ain't no professional thing here.
We don't care.
Even though Dad was on here talking about being professional, we ain't that professional.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't make it.
All right, let's get Billy on here, and because he's been waiting for a while.
All right, let's see.
Hello, I am Kevin from Virginia, and you are watching Jack Dodson'S Racing Insider News with Scott Allen and Adam Wellbrock.
That's unbelievable. Hello, Billy. How you doing, man?
Hey, how are you guys? It's David.
We're doing good. Now, I've heard a lot of good things about you.
You did?
Yep.
That's good.
Shannon, God, can you think of his last name there? Well, Shannon Lester told us a lot about you and what you got going on and the racing, how long you've been racing and everything. So give us a little background.
I've been racing a long time. I started in motorcycles, then we went to karts through the 80s, and then I think I built the first race car in 91. And, we've been running mini stocks back then, when Mod 4s you call it today, and we've been running them since, I guess.
Now you're tied into Kevin Canner and Rocky Yates too, right? I mean, you're part of that deal, or have been part of that deal, whatever.
That mafia.
Yeah, we run KINGSPORT. We used to run Lonesome Pine. Newport's far back up this year. We've not got to go yet, but yeah, Kevin, he's there. Chris Ambergy, he won this weekend.
Yeah, I saw that. I mean, that's a pretty big deal to knock Kevin off like that.
Yeah, we had 15 cars to start Friday night. We've been our class is growing and growing.
Well, that Mod 4 division down at Kingsport or whatever, they seem to have a big following there too. I mean, a lot of people like the Mod 4s.
Well, it's a good class, and about everybody works together to help each other. I mean, that's what really ties us together really good. That everybody gets along, and if somebody needs help, everybody else is helping.
Well, I think it's kind of funny that Rocky got a win at Newport this past weekend.
Yeah.
And Kevin didn't win, and I've been trying to get Kevin and Rocky on the show at the same time because I want to know who would dump who in a situation.
I don't really know. Kevin's always hard to beat. Kevin's usually got a good line if you follow him. Whether you can drive his line or can't drive his line, he's fast. Whatever he gets in, he does a good job.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you what. The guys won. Huh?
You can't get nothing started.
I know. I'm trying hard to get something on here, but I mean, Kevin. I mean, how many races? That dude's won what 8, 9 championships at Kingsport and won all these races and stuff. And I mean, it's unbelievable that he's as strong as he is, and he continues to be strong.
Well, he started. I think the first championship was probably 16. That's the year I got my leg broke, and he was in my car in the 2 car driving for me, and he run the whole year. I think he won Kingsport and maybe Lonesome Pine Championship both that year, and Rookie of the Year. He got all kinds of things that year, and he's really ain't been not stoppable since.
Yeah, well, that head's probably got pretty big too.
So in other words, if it weren't for Billy, Kevin wouldn't be Kevin.
That's exactly right. If it weren't for Billy, Kevin Canner wouldn't he be around? So we appreciate that.
Yeah, I've tried to put a lot of younger kids and things in cars over the years and help them. I mean, that's kind of my role now. I'm 61, and I'm still out here doing this every week, and I feel 2 or 3 cars or whatever, and I've got 7 or 8 here, I guess. But we try to help bring people into the sport. We got to keep it growing.
Mm-hmm. So how many more races do y'all have out there at Kingsport and Newport or whatever?
I really don't know. We've had so many rainouts, and I don't know how many they want to throw back in, but we've got quite a few still yet to go. We'll run up through, I guess, through September or whatever.
Oh, that's a good little ways to go yet. So give me a grand total of how many races you've been in and won.
Oh, I don't know. I won the championship at Lonesome Pine one year, and back when we had the combined championships between Kingsport and Lonesome Pine when they were together, I can't remember. I won 2 or 3 combined championships there. I just always try to be consistent. Be right there week after week and try to get the job done.
Well, I think you've been doing pretty good at getting it done. So, do you have any sponsors helping you out with your cars and stuff?
Well, not a lot. We got David Brown. He helps us out a little bit, and just me and my wife, we take care of. We do whatever every week. We make the pool and do that. It's 3 hours to Kingsport for us now. And back when I lived in Abingdon, we would run Kingsport Friday and Cobra and Lonesome Pine on Saturday, and then sometimes when Franklin County would run Sunday, we'd run up there, and then 2 or 3 seasons we run Motor Mile, run that, and then I'll throw in a Withful dirt race or back when 411 run, this Newport, wherever we could go.
Oh, I didn't know you were doing some dirt racing too, so that's pretty cool.
I've jumped in about everything.
So you still love the sport and love being a part of it.
Yeah, I guess that passion never ends. You just keep. Sometimes you have to change your direction a little bit, but you still try to be competitive. I said I'll step out when I can bring somebody up that can jump in the same car and go faster than I do.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, well, that's the way it is. Well, Billy, thanks for spending some time with us. I'm sorry you had to wait so long to get on, but hey, I really appreciate it. And I'm gonna try. One day I'm gonna try to get back out to Kingsport again. I want to go around to some of these racetracks and see what's going on. And I do want to come see Kevin because I want to make sure he can still get his head in the car. And I mean, after Edinburgh beat him the other night, he may come back to life a little bit.
There you go.
All right, Billy, appreciate you being with us, and we'll talk to you again real soon, man.
Okay, thank you for having me on, and come and see us when you can.
All right, man. Thank you.
Okay.
I mean, that's really wild. That Kevin Canner got beat this weekend. I mean, he got beat. He didn't blow a motor. That was his excuse before.
Flat tire or something?
I ain't heard nothing about it.
I mean, he's been pretty hard to beat out there.
So anyway, all right. Now we got William PURHAMUS here. How you spell your last name? How you?
PURHAMUS. Just say that.
PURHAMUS.
Yeah.
I said Hamus.
Yeah, that.
Yeah. Don't ask Scott to say it.
I will murder a name.
So quickly, you're spotting for. I mean, do you spot for just one team or a bunch?
I spot here at Langley. I've got Cole Bruce, Rick Godovic primarily in the modified this year, Kyle Nestor in the limited, and then Penelope in her Bando car. So at the beginning of the year, I tallied it up. I had like 65 races to spot at Langley. So
Goodness gracious.
It was busy. Yeah, we threw in some super races, truck race at Lime Rock a couple weeks ago. So just kind of take whatever comes down the pipeline.
So how do you get involved with other teams? I mean, you're here every week, but how they get your name and get you involved with other stuff?
Well, it's kind of a strange. I don't know. It's kind of strange. I started spotting in like 2019 or so. I lived in Mobile, Alabama, and I got asked to spot one night as a fill-in, and I told the guys, "Hey, look, I've never spotted." I said, "I listen to the scanner all the time, but like I've just never done it." He's like, "I will be all right." And we wound up winning a race in an outlaw car, and I'll never forget it. He came up to me after the race and said, "You've never spotted before?" And I was like, "No, man." He goes, "Well, you're pretty good." And I was like, "Well, I appreciate it." So it kind of snowballed from there, and I did some driver development stuff with Max Caius and his team down there in Alabama, and they just recently moved to North Carolina, so I'd expect to see them on the car store in the next couple of years. But anyway, one day he walked up and he handed me a check, and he said, "That's for all your work this weekend." And I was like, "Max, you have to pay me like I'm here because I want to be here." And he said, No, man, I just want to make sure that's enough." I was like, "That's plenty." And, that kind of got the wheels turning, and I just thought, maybe I can do something with this. And I reached out to Mason Dunn. I actually got orders back to Virginia.
Friends with Mason?
Well, friendlies. But
All right, well, let's just end this right here.
I reached out to Mason. I said, "Hey, man, I got orders back to the area." I said, "You anybody looking for a spotter?" And he said, "I don't really know of any late model guys, but I think Matt Carter's looking for somebody." I said, "There is no way that Matt Carter's looking for a spotter." So I reached out to Matt. Matt and I chatted a little bit, and he said, "Well, when you get back, let's meet up and see what we can do." And you guys know what Matt does here. He tends to kick ass and take names. So it kind of spiraled from there, like I said, and I did Dean Shiflett stuff for a little while, and then he kind of stepped back, and Cole and Robert and Kevin kind of courted me, and they're like, "Hey, we need somebody to spot for us." And I was like, "Well, I've got some availability." And again, it just kind of went from there. I did Penelope at the Thanksgiving Classic a couple of years ago, and then I had to fill in for Justin Posey one night with Nestor, and Posey got busy with the car store stuff and couldn't be here. So then that became a full-time thing. And yeah, you just you work hard. Hard work always pays off, and I try to live by that. So
where are you originally from?
I was born and raised in upstate New York.
We'll forgive you.
Little small town called Stone Ridge. one stoplight, one doctor, one pharmacy. Everybody knows everybody. And we didn't really have any asphalt tracks. Accord Speedway was the local dirt track where they ran, modifieds and things like that. And then every once in a while, Grandpa would take me over to Middletown, and we get to watch the big track over there. I became a Brett Hurd fan back in the day, and then I joined the Navy, and the only really asphalt stuff that we had was, I'd watch Cup racing on Sundays, and joined the Navy, moved down here in 2005, and there was a place down the street from the base that sponsored a race car, and I just kind of paid some attention to that and figured it out. And Robert Ellis was the first guy that ever helped out here at Langley Speedway. So I've been coming here since like 2006, and here we are. Yep.
Well, you got a wide variety of vehicles that you spot for, so I mean, it's pretty cool that you have all that.
Everything, I've done some one-offs for people, and the one-offs are really tough because, maybe they've got a primary guy that just can't be there that weekend, and he's used to a certain rhythm and certain terminology, and you do your own thing as a spotter, and you quickly find out, like, hey, that either worked or didn't work, and so you've got to have some adaptability, and it just, it can be tough.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of responsibility, right?
Oh, yeah. Part of your job is making sure that thing rolls in the trail at the end of the night in one piece. So,
yeah, and it's not. It sounds easy to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I've spotted a few times, but I'm too damn ADD. I'm start watching the race. You're like, oh, yeah, you're clear,
Yeah.
It's you have to be disciplined, really, to not pay attention to everything, the entertainment that's going on in front of you,
right,
to your car.
See, the key word there was discipline.
I ain't got it.
That ain't you. So
no.
I actually use that word a lot on the radio with some of these guys. Stay disciplined to the line, but yeah, it is easy to get caught up. You'll catch out of the corner of your eye, you'll see a battle going on, and it's kind of easy, and it just takes time and effort. Anything you want to be good at takes effort.
Yeah, it does.
So,
and in the mesh too, like between you and a driver, right? It's important in different. Some drivers want you to talk a lot. Some drivers don't want you to talk a lot. I mean, have you ran into that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Fortunately, most of the people here at Langley that I spot for are they want to know what's going on. But I've definitely spotted for a few people at some bigger races, at Florence or the Thanksgiving Classic, and
they're like, "Shut up!"
Right? No, just before the race, they're like, "Hey, this is what I want to know. I don't need nothing else." And then again, that tends to throw you off of your rhythm because spotting is very, very rhythmic, right? My drivers know that when they gas up to get off of 2, I'm going to give them a lap time and a distance and some other information. And when you got guys that kind of want a little something different, that's where that adaptability, you've just got to be, flexible and kind of tend to what they like. So
now, do you make a point to go meet the driver that you're going to spot for?
Absolutely.
And have a conversation and so forth?
100%.
Have you had any of them don't worry about it, just to go do your job?
Really, the truck guys and the Xfinity guys, they're just like, they're so used to their routine that they're just like, I'm like, hey, I'm going to tell you this, but they're like, all right, cool, man, I'll be on the radio, and they're just like laid back about it.
So we had Josh White's, not Josh, who was it?
Joe White.
Joe White on, and he had to go spot for AJ Allmendinger. And he's like, he's so nervous.
Right.
And he finally, I think it was race day or whatever, he finally gets over and hey, AJ, he's like, don't worry about it.
Yeah, just do your job.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Now, you said you were with Dean, you helped Dean Shiflett.
I did help Dean.
And that means you were working around Andre Greer.
Yep.
He said he appreciates everything you've done for us.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity to work with them guys.
But I know that's got to be hard working with Andre Greer because he's just one of those guys that,
I don't get mad very often. I've seen him mad once.
I have too. I've seen him mad.
I've seen him real bad. As a matter of fact, I think it was a couple days later in our group text. He's like, "I'm sorry."
Yeah. So Andre and Melissa and Dean and all those guys, they treated me super well. It was a pleasure to work for them, and luckily, Andre was never upset with me. He may be upset with how the car ran or whatever, but he always thanked me and was appreciative, and that goes a long way. That's one of those confidence boosters when somebody's like, I really appreciate what you do. You sounded good, and that's that confidence. So
yeah. So when you do you say you've done some Xfinity and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So how is that different from what you do around here? Pays a little more.
Well, it can. So yeah, my Xfinity stuff, I did Parker Retzloff when he drove for Jordan Anderson, and it was road course stuff. So you kind of get your 15 seconds of fame right when he comes through your section, and the difference is you're not really reading off lap times to him, right? The primary guy or the crew chief is going to read those off to him. You're also running a radio where you're talking to the other spotters. There's like a handoff process. And really, for a lot of those guys, less is more, unless they're in a tight battle or there's a wreck or something. Sometimes you don't say nothing for 3, 4, 5 laps.
Now, is it tough? Now, to me, it would seem like it would be hard for a road course opposed to here because it's inside, outside. That's easy, right?
Mm-hmm.
My road course stuff, they say left or right.
Left or right.
Seems like me, it'd still be easier to say inside, outside.
Well,
I know what inside, outside would be for a normal guy who runs left.
It can be confusing, and to say that I've never screwed it up, I'd be lying to you.
So I guess maybe even if the car's coming at you, and then that can get confusing too.
Right. So the thing to try and remember is the driver's always going to be on the left, right? So if they're coming at you, right, the driver's. So if somebody's looking left or out of line left or out of line right, and I try and position myself when I do those things to where like, all right, he's on my left and this is my left. So you try and set yourself up. You can't always do it, and it's just something you got to make a mental effort in getting right because it could mean a difference. So
for sure.
So
something else I'd have.
He's helping Parker Retzloff. That was back when Jason was down there.
He was car chief.
Yeah, the car chief on that car. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So with all that in mind, I mean, what you got left for the rest of the year? You just gonna be here, or you got some other things in plans?
So you're still learning your left from your right.
Who said that?
Mandy.
Oh yeah, that's fine. I guess I'm always trying to work on some national stuff. If it happens, great. Obviously, you're thankful for the opportunity, but I've got a full slate of stuff here. Might have some stuff in the work for Martinsville. Thanksgiving Classic's always an option. So, and then of course the Snowball Derby.
Yeah.
I did some super racing this year with a kid from the West Coast, Casey Klein, and we had some good runs. Finished 10th. I forget what track we were at. Mobile, Alabama. We raced. Well, we did the doubleheader down at Pensacola Friday night. Broke a hub and then went to Mobile and finished 10th. And so some of that stuff comes up. They kind of scaled their program back just a little bit. Focused on some races out there because they were traveling from Washington State all the way to Pensacola. I mean, that's a haul. They're not for 40 hours.
Wow.
And then there's flights for the crew guys and flights for the spotter, and so they just kind of scaled back a little bit, got their program on track, and he just won a big race, Idaho 200. So we'll see. You got to keep in touch with people, and you don't want to feel like a pain in the ass, but you want to stay relevant. And
sure.
You just keep a bug in there. Hey, you guys looking for somebody for this race or that race, and fortunately, I've got my name out there with some other guys, and just take the opportunities as they come.
So, do you want to go cup racing?
Yeah, I'm chasing the dream, man. I'd love to be one of the 40 on the roof on Sundays, and
well, I mean, I think it's like you say easier. That's not a good word. I think it's at one time that was a clique.
Yeah,
and it was a bunch of guys that have been up there for years, and they didn't let other people up there.
Yep.
Now it seems like that has opened up a lot compared to what it used to be.
Oh, the thing you got to remember is for every one guy up there on Sunday, there's 100 of us short track guys that are trying to fill those shoes, and some of it is about who you know. Some of it is about your resume and your personality. That tends to go a long way. And
somebody said you'd spot for a wheelbarrow race if you had opportunity.
I would. Yeah, yeah. I would. I spot a wheelbarrow race.
We should hold those out here.
Based on
And
the
Dalton will shoot it. Right?
based on the heat weekend, the juice box drivers might get.
Yeah, that was actually comical. That's funny. Yeah.
Well, that's good. It's cool that you get to do that. Now you're doing cold brews. How was that this past weekend? Him getting him in the.
Throw that off. Give a shout out to Will for that.
Yeah, Ryan Matthews and I come up with the design, and he donated the material and the time to come up with those. So if anybody wants a sticker, we're going to print some more. I've still got some left over from this weekend. Reach out to me, social media or wherever, and I'll be sure to get everybody a sticker that wants one. So, yeah, having Cole back this weekend was real special. He had a huge support group here this weekend, family and different people that had come in to support him and support the family. And you know, I think Cole, like I was mentioning earlier, I think he's kind of assumed that patriarch role in the family, and I kind of think that helps him push on. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, that's what Robert would want anyway. You know, it's crazy how close me and RB and Kevin and Cole and his whole family, we just became so close so quick that you know, they're family now. Yeah. And having him back this weekend was special. And obviously, you know, we ran the wheels off at that first race trying to get a win, and that would have been super special. But Cole's got a really good race car, and he's a really talented race car driver. And you know, I think he'll be around for quite some time.
I think so too.
And I think you'll see he's got some more wins coming this year. So you'll be on the lookout.
He's one of the coolest, well-rounded guys.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, it's a shout out to his parents. So Izzy is a good kid.
Absolutely.
He still is a kid.
Yeah. I mean, when we found out he was a pilot, I mean, that just floored me.
Hey, y'all hit him up. He'll take you for a ride.
Well, my son's a pilot.
Okay.
And he took me up, and I remember how he drove. So riding a plane with him did not really interest me. So I got to know this guy really good while I was on the air with him.
Look, back in the day, Bob Ingram, his dad owned junkyards here, and Bob Jr. raced in the Grand National Series for 5 or 6 years. But he was telling me one time he had his pilot's license, and he was hauling ass somewhere, and he got pulled over. And he said he gave the cop his pilot license. The cop said, "This ain't your driver's license, your pilot license." He said, "Well, I was flying, wasn't I?" So the cop didn't let him off.
That's funny. That is funny.
Oh man.
All right. Well, evidently Parker's not going to join us like he said he would. But anyway, I'm sure he got busy. He's got a lot going on, getting ready for the big race down at Hickory.
That's going to be a good show.
Yeah, that's going to be huge.
They've got a ton of cars signed up. I think 40 was the number.
Oh, damn. And I don't know that they do a best throwback scheme.
We know who you're voting for, Joe.
I don't know who.
They did it last year.
I hope they do it this year because Blaine Harrison is going to win it. Okay.
A tie ride.
Yep, he's going to win it. So yeah, I hope they do that. We also got racing here this weekend. So what we got racing this weekend?
Limiteds, twin limiteds.
Yep.
Don't forget the 100-lapper. Bowman Gray.
Oh yeah, Bowman Gray. That ought to be really interesting.
I've yet to go to Bowman Gray. I mean,
Really?
Me too.
Never?
This weekend will be my first time.
Is it?
You go for a fight and the race breaks out.
Right.
You know, you made a joke on that, but that's really how it works.
You ain't lying. The best part is you don't know who's going to be on the card.
That's right. That's right.
So anyway, next week we're going to have Randy Hallman is going to be with us. He is used to be with the Virginia Pilot, the Richmond Times Dispatch. It's like, you remember Randy? Spoke at Al Pearson's funeral.
Okay.
You know, you and I were there.
Yeah.
And he got up and spoke. He's going to be with us next week. Mike Spinney is going to be here with us next week from Bowman Gray. So hopefully the racing will be done, you know, and nothing big will happen when he comes on and wants to talk trash about somebody. Of course, we may boost it up a little bit. You know.
We would never.
Also, Jacob Derrick, the winner of the.
Oh, you're going to have him on?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to have him on. I'm going to have him on. We're going to do that.
No wonder Mafia.
Brandy, we're going to have Jacob Derrick next week.
And only Jacob.
Was it the Derrick Mafia that did that?
Yes. Yes.
Maybe he can talk.
The bad part about it is the Mafia. I got calls at home. I got text messages. I even got an email saying, "What is wrong with you and Scott?" Now this is legit. What is wrong with you and Scott? The man wins a big first late model race, and y'all don't even bring him on the show. And I tried to tell him these shows are planned out ahead of time. I can't. No, it wasn't you, Brandy. I'm not talking about you. You sure? But I heard people, and ain't no doubt about it. Jacob Derrick's got a following. I mean, goodness gracious.
I know. You still remember that first damn Legends car he won?
Oh yeah.
The damn group went all the way to turn 1 to turn 4.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's like the school bus let out.
Race car driver.
So anyway, Jacob Derrick will be here spinning. Hallman, and also Nicholas Bubbles Bronson is going to be with us next week. Okay. Does anybody in this room know who that is?
The character?
No. He's working right now at the summer shootout. He's the flagman at the summer shootout and race director down there.
Okay.
So he's going to be with us next week because tonight is the last. Huh?
That's Lebanon Stab, and he's in charge.
I ain't gonna say that, but don't get me saying. He probably go back and watch this. Anyway,
that's why we're not.
I've talked to him a couple times, and we're gonna have him on. He's gonna talk about the
summer shootout.
Summer shootout tonight is the last night of the summer shootout, championship night.
Shout out Penelope.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Braxton Bush has been crushing.
In 2 divisions.
Yeah.
So his dad's got a few too.
He's a monster.
They've been doing great in a legend and a bandolero.
He got SVG last week.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
By like 5 points.
About 5 car lengths.
Yeah, there's been a bunch of guys that have been running on
But and Bryson, yeah. Anyway, Brandy, you make sure you get Jacob over here next week. I don't want to hear no problems.
Oh, he can drive himself now.
Oh. Brandy, you make sure you bring him on over here.
I hope he has that same girlfriend or a different girlfriend. The last time we tried to start something.
Yeah,
one of these young kids bring a girl. They're like, it's the same girl you had last time. I forget who it was. One guy was like, what? How you gonna bring another girl over here?
He said, no, you just gotta be like, damn, name changed.
Yeah. Famous last words.
Brandy, don't listen to him. Who's the parent, Brandy? You or Jacob? You come over here.
He won't let me come.
You come on over here.
Just come to the window.
Yeah, you can stand in the window.
5 minutes after the show starts.
Yeah, we have done that a couple times about.
Yeah, I forget who it was when I said that. They were like, I mean, their face was like, oh my god. Like, he's like, I need to run out of go. We can bring it.
Yeah, wrong guy. So anyway, please like and share our show. This is we had a great time tonight. And William, thank you for coming.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity to be on the show. I appreciate it, guys.
Appreciate you coming. Billy Duty, man, I was excited to have Billy come on the show, and
There's no Billy Duty Jones.
he's still listening.
Yeah.
So and Noah Evans, really good to have him on the show too. All right, we'll see you again next Tuesday night, 7 o'clock.